Darkness stretched endlessly across the void. Stars twinkled far away, tiny specks of light in a cold, silent universe. Somewhere in that emptiness, a small alien ship floated alone. Its hull was cracked and burned in many places. Sparks shot out from the sides, and smoke curled from a broken vent. Red warning lights blinked on and off, casting eerie shadows inside the tiny ship. The sound of alarms echoed softly, but there was no one nearby to answer them. Inside the ship, a small alien family huddled together. The parents, tall and slender with shimmering skin, moved carefully, their hands shaking as they tried to fix the oxygen system. The ship's life support was failing, and every second that passed made the air thinner. Their child, no more than a few cycles old, clung to the mother's arm, crying softly. The little one's big, round eyes were filled with fear and confusion. They had never felt this alone in the galaxy before. The father wiped sweat from his brow and pressed a glowing panel. Sparks flew, and the smell of burnt circuits filled the small cabin. He looked at his child and forced a smile, though inside, fear gnawed at his heart. "It's going to be okay," he said softly. His voice sounded small in the vast emptiness around them. But even as he spoke, he didn't know if it was true. They tried to send a distress signal. The father adjusted the ship's antenna, sending out a weak, trembling signal into the cold void. "Please, anyone," he whispered. The message floated silently through space, carrying hope and fear together. But no one answered. Every nearby alien species, every ship that could have been watching, ignored them. Perhaps they didn't care. Perhaps they were too far away. Perhaps they had rules against helping strangers. The family's signal drifted, unanswered, through a galaxy that had no place for kindness. The mother's hand shook as she tried to comfort their child. "Don't be afraid. We will find help," she said, though her voice wavered. The child clung to them tightly, sensing the tension in the air. Small hands reached out to touch the walls, touching the sparks and smoke with wonder and fear. The little one did not understand the danger, only that the world around them had become silent and cruel. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time had lost meaning in the endless dark. Every sound of the ship breaking apart made the family jump. Every flicker of the red lights made the child cry out. The parents took turns checking the oxygen meters, hoping for a miracle that did not come. They whispered to each other, sharing memories of their home world, of friends and laughter, of sunlight and green fields, things that now seemed impossibly far away. Then, in the distance, a small glimmer appeared. At first, it was barely noticeable, like a single star shining brighter than the others. But it grew steadily. A soft, steady light moved toward them, different from anything they had seen. It was not red, not blue, not the harsh glow of an alarm. It was gentle, calm, and strange. The mother's eyes widened. "Do you see it?" she whispered, gripping her child tighter. The father nodded, a mixture of hope and disbelief on his face. Their hearts beat faster. Could it be help? The light came closer, revealing the shape of a ship unlike any they had encountered. Sleek, powerful, and bright, it moved silently but with purpose. It did not fire weapons. It did not make threats. It simply came closer, scanning the small alien ship with care. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, the family felt something other than fear. Something warm and unfamiliar touched their hearts, hope. Could these strangers be different? Could they actually help? The little child peeked out from between their parents. The glow reflected in the child's eyes, and for a moment, the tears stopped. The parents exchanged a glance, unsure of what would happen next. In the vast darkness of space, with nothing to trust and nothing to hope for, this shining ship was a promise, a tiny, fragile promise that maybe, just maybe, compassion still existed in the galaxy. And as the ship drew closer, a soft voice came over a universal communicator. It was calm, gentle, and full of understanding. "We see you. You are not alone. We are coming to help." The family held their breath. They expected cruelty, betrayal, or abandonment. That was the truth they had learned from countless silent worlds. But instead, they felt compassion. For the first time in what felt like forever, they dared to hope. The alien family's tiny ship trembled as the bright light drew closer. Sparks still flew from its damaged hull, and the smell of smoke lingered in the cabin. But now, amidst the fear and chaos, there was something new, hope. Their hearts raced as the unfamiliar ship approached, its shape unlike anything they had ever seen. Sleek and metallic, with smooth curves and bright, steady lights, it moved with precision and purpose. The alien parents whispered to each other, their voices trembling. "Do you think they are friendly?" the mother asked, her hand pressed against her child's back. The father shook his head slightly, unsure. "We can only hope. But we have no choice, we must try to trust." Outside, the human ship stopped at a careful distance, hovering silently. Its powerful sensors scanned the alien vessel, measuring damage and life signs. The humans inside were calm, their movements precise and controlled. They did not rush, they did not shout orders, and they certainly did not fire weapons. Everything about their arrival suggested patience, care, and, surprisingly, compassion. Inside the alien ship, the child pressed their face into the mother's chest, eyes wide with curiosity and fear. Who are they?" the little one whispered. The mother sighed, stroking the child's head. "We don't know. But maybe they are the help we prayed for." A small hatch on the alien ship opened, releasing a cloud of smoke. Sparks flew dangerously close to the cabin walls, and the parents braced themselves. The human ship's sensors detected the risk immediately. With a soft hum, a beam of light extended toward the alien vessel, scanning and stabilizing the structure. Slowly, carefully, the beam started repairing the worst of the damage. The aliens gasped. They had never seen technology like this before. Smooth lights moved over the broken hull, sealing cracks and cutting away dangerous sparks. For the first time, the parents could breathe a little easier. Oxygen levels were still low, but at least the ship was not falling apart anymore. Then, a human voice came through the communicator. It was soft, calm, and surprisingly gentle. "We see you. Do not be afraid. We are here to help. Stay still and stay calm." The parents looked at each other, their eyes wide. This was no threat. There were no harsh tones, no warnings, no orders to surrender. Just words of comfort. The child peeked over the mother's arm, curious and cautious. The voice repeated, "We are here to help. You are not alone." The alien father tried to respond. We do not know you. Why help us?" he stammered. The human voice replied simply, without judgment or question, "Because it is right. You are in danger, and we will not leave you alone." The alien mother's hands shook as she held her child. For the first time, she felt the warmth of trust. Could these strangers, these humans, truly care for them? Could they actually save them when every other species in the galaxy had turned away? Outside, the human ship extended a small landing pod. Slowly and carefully, it descended toward the alien ship. A hatch opened, and a soft light spilled into the dark void. The alien family watched, tense and unsure. The pod did not rush forward. It moved with caution, waiting, allowing the family to see that no harm would come. Finally, the hatch connected. A gentle mechanical arm extended inside the alien ship, carrying oxygen tanks, food supplies, and medical kits. The parents gasped, their hands trembling as they accepted the gifts. The little child stared, eyes wide, a mix of fear and wonder. They had never seen this. Never in their lives had anyone offered help like this. The father's voice broke as he whispered, Thank you." The human voice replied, softly, "You are welcome. Stay calm. We are with you now." Suddenly, a warning flashed on the human ship's sensors. A nearby fleet of hostile alien ships had detected the rescue. They were moving quickly, drawn by the energy of the rescue operation. Their intentions were clear: attack. The human ship's lights brightened, shields activating around both ships. But there was no panic. No anger. The humans acted with calm precision, protecting the alien family without firing a single shot. The parents could barely comprehend what they were seeing. These strangers, these humans, were protecting them. The child, now feeling a bit braver, peeked out and asked, "Will they hurt us?" The mother held the child tightly. "No. I think they are here to save us," she whispered. The humans worked quickly, loading the family into a safe compartment on the pod. The air was warm and breathable. The oxygen systems were repaired, and the little one's tears finally stopped. The parents could finally take a deep breath, feeling a strange, comforting sense of safety. As the human ship began moving away from the danger, the alien family looked out at the stars. The darkness of space still surrounded them, but now there was light, a light that did not just come from stars, but from the compassion of strangers. For the first time, they dared to hope. For the first time, they believed that not all beings in the galaxy were cruel. And above all, one thought stayed in their minds: maybe kindness could exist even in the coldest, most distant corners of space. The alien family huddled together in the human pod, still trembling from their long hours in the damaged ship. The little child clung to the mother, eyes wide with awe and fear. The father peered around the small compartment, trying to understand the strange technology surrounding them. Smooth walls glowed with soft blue light, panels hummed quietly, and small machines floated in the air, repairing and monitoring every system. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. The aliens had traveled across countless star systems, and yet, this was new. This was advanced, precise, and gentle. Every movement of the humans inside the pod reflected careful attention to their well-being. There were no harsh commands, no weapons aimed, no judgment in their eyes, only focus, care, and calm determination. The human captain, tall and steady, approached the alien family. Their face was hidden behind a transparent visor, but the calm tone of their voice reached the family through the communicator. "You are safe now. Do not be afraid. We will take care of you." The father swallowed hard, still unsure whether to trust these strangers. Why are you helping us?" he asked quietly. The human captain replied, without hesitation, "Because no being should suffer when help is possible. You are not alone anymore." The mother's hand trembled as she touched the child's shoulder. For years, their species had been betrayed, ignored, or abandoned by others in the galaxy. Every time they had reached out, they had been met with silence, or worse, cruelty. And yet, here, in this human ship, someone cared. Truly cared. The child peeked out from the mother's arm, curious and fascinated. "Are they friends?" the little one asked, voice barely audible. The mother smiled faintly, a tear rolling down her cheek. "I think, yes. They are different. They are kind." Humans moved carefully around them, offering food packs and small medical devices. The family hesitated at first, unsure if it was safe to touch or eat anything. But hunger and exhaustion overcame fear. Slowly, the parents took what was offered, feeding themselves and their child. The warmth of nourishment spread through them, a simple gesture that carried immense comfort. Outside the pod, the galaxy remained dark and indifferent. Stars glittered coldly, and distant alien ships passed by without noticing them. The family had expected cruelty. They had prepared for danger. And yet, nothing harmful had come. Only help. Only care. The human crew then began repairing the alien ship remotely. Robotic arms worked from the human vessel, sealing cracks, stabilizing the oxygen system, and clearing sparks and smoke. The family watched in awe as broken machinery came back to life. Every system hummed smoothly, lights blinking steadily, signals returning. The aliens had never experienced such precision, such dedication, such patience. As repairs continued, the human captain spoke again. "You may feel afraid. That is natural. But we mean no harm. Trust is the first step to safety. You are not alone." "Not anymore." The alien father's voice broke slightly as he whispered to his family, We never expected this. Every species, they ignored us, or worse. But these humans, they are different." The mother nodded, her eyes glistening. "Yes, maybe there is hope." Meanwhile, outside the human ship, sensors detected movement. Hostile alien patrols had noticed the rescue operation. They were approaching quickly, their ships large, armed, and dangerous. The humans noticed immediately, and a soft hum of shields activated around both vessels. There was no panic, no rush to fight. The humans moved strategically, positioning their ship to block any attack and keep the aliens safe. Inside the pod, the family felt the tension. Will they hurt us? The child asked, clutching the mother's arm. No, she whispered, brushing their hair back. They are protecting us. The humans continued their work, repairing the alien ship and stabilizing the life support systems. The child's fear slowly transformed into curiosity. They reached out to touch one of the floating repair devices. The human technician smiled gently, letting the child explore safely. It was a small act, but for the family, it was profound. For the first time in their lives, they felt cared for, truly cared for, without suspicion or threat. Hours seemed to pass, though it was impossible to tell in the calm of space. Slowly, the alien ship was repaired enough to sustain life. Oxygen levels stabilized, sparks ceased, and warning lights stopped flashing. The family's ship, once a fragile vessel drifting alone, was now functional again. The human captain spoke one last time, softly but firmly. You can return to your journey now. You are safe. And if you ever need help, we will be there. Compassion is not weakness. It is strength. Remember this. The alien parents held their child close, overwhelmed with emotion. Tears of relief and gratitude rolled down their cheeks. They had expected cruelty. They had expected abandonment. They had expected death. And yet, they had found compassion. The child's small hand reached out to touch the captain's console, fascinated. Thank you, they whispered. And in that simple word, the entire journey, the entire risk, the entire act of courage by the humans, was acknowledged. As the human ship slowly pulled away, moving back toward the stars from which it had come, the alien family watched silently. They were safe, alive, and full of a hope they had not dared to feel for many cycles. The galaxy was still vast and indifferent. But now, they had proof. Kindness could exist. Compassion could exist. Even in the cold, endless void of space, some beings would help others simply because it was right. And for the first time, the alien family believed that the galaxy might not be as cruel as they had thought. Perhaps, somewhere out there, hope was waiting even for the most lost and abandoned souls. The alien family floated in the safety of the human pod, finally breathing easier. The little child laughed softly for the first time in cycles, a sound that warmed the hearts of their exhausted parents. For a brief moment, it felt like the nightmare was over. They were alive. They were safe. Humans had saved them. But the galaxy does not remain silent for long. Far beyond the reach of stars, sensors on the human ship detected movement. Large, dark shapes moved with precision through the void. A fleet of hostile alien warships had noticed the rescue operation. They were fast, armed, and merciless. Their intentions were clear: the humans were interfering, and the rescued aliens did not belong in this part of space. The human captain immediately assessed the situation. Calmly, the bridge came alive with activity. Crew members monitored incoming threats, deployed shields, and coordinated movements to protect the pod carrying the fragile alien family. Every action was precise, measured, and without panic. Inside the pod, the alien parents sensed something was wrong. The mother held the child tightly, whispering softly, "What is happening?" The father peered through the small observation window, watching the approaching silhouettes of warships. His heart pounded. "They are coming," he said, voice trembling. "They want to take us, or destroy us." The child's wide eyes filled with fear. "Will they hurt us?" they asked. The mother hugged them tightly. We have to trust them," she whispered, glancing at the humans outside. "They saved us once. Maybe they will protect us again." The human captain activated the defensive shields around both ships. The pod and the alien vessel were now fully enclosed in a protective barrier that shimmered with blue light. The hostile ships fired warning beams, trying to intimidate, but the shields held strong. The humans did not attack. They did not provoke. They only protected. One of the human officers spoke softly over the communicator, "Do not fear. We will not let them harm you. Stay calm and stay inside the pod. Trust us." The alien father looked at the humans with a mixture of awe and disbelief. They are risking everything for us," he whispered. "Every other species, every other being, would have abandoned us. Or worse." The mother nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "Yes, They are different. So different. The hostile ships advanced, their weapons charging. Energy beams shot past the shields, making small sparks dance on the surface of the protective barrier. The alien family flinched with every pulse of light, every hum of energy. It was terrifying. And yet, the humans remained calm, steady, unshaken by the aggression. Inside the human ship, technicians manipulated controls with quiet precision. Automated drones and small defense units positioned themselves strategically, forming a protective perimeter around the pod and alien ship. Every move was calculated to prevent harm without escalating the conflict. The alien child clung to their mother, eyes wide. "Will they hit us?" they whispered, voice trembling. The mother stroked their hair gently. "No, they are keeping us safe. Look at them. They are protecting us without hurting anyone." Time seemed to stretch. Each second felt like an eternity. The alien parents whispered prayers, not for themselves, but for the humans risking everything on their behalf. These strangers had no obligation to help. Yet here they were, standing between the family and danger. They had expected cruelty, and yet, again, they found compassion. The human captain spoke over the communicator once more. "We do not fight for power. We fight for life. Stay calm. Follow our instructions. You are safe." The alien father, inspired by their calm and courage, whispered to his family, We can survive this. With them." The mother nodded, holding the child close, a spark of hope rekindling in her heart. The hostile ships attempted to surround the human vessel, trying to cut off escape routes. But the humans anticipated every move. Using shields, strategic positioning, and advanced evasive maneuvers, they created a safe corridor for the alien pod. The hostile fleet tried to anticipate, but every action was met with a precise counter, without firing a single shot that could harm the aliens. The aliens watched in awe. "They are incredible," the mother whispered. "Not because they can fight, but because they choose not to hurt." The father nodded, his eyes glistening. This is not strength through fear. This is strength through care." Finally, the humans guided the pod and alien ship through the dangerous zone, moving them out of range of the hostile fleet. The shields held strong, the systems performed perfectly, and the aliens were finally safe again. As the hostile ships retreated, frustrated by the humans' skill and nonviolent strategy, the alien family allowed themselves to breathe deeply. The child giggled softly, touching the glowing panels of the pod. We are safe," the little one said. The mother smiled, tears falling freely. "Yes, because of them. Because of humans." The father placed a hand on the mother's shoulder, gazing at the calm humans outside. They expected danger. They expected fear. And yet, they gave us safety. They gave us hope. The human captain spoke over the communicator one last time. "You are safe. Continue your journey. Remember, compassion is stronger than fear. Courage is in protecting, not harming. You are not alone." The alien family watched as the humans moved away, their ship shining like a beacon of hope in the dark void. For the first time, they felt a deep understanding. Strength is not always measured by weapons or power. Sometimes, true strength is in the choice to protect, to care, and to act with compassion even when the galaxy expects cruelty. And in that moment, the alien family realized that their lives had changed forever. The humans had not just saved them, they had shown them a new path, a new possibility for hope in a galaxy that too often turned its back on the weak and abandoned. For the first time in their lives, they believed that kindness could win. The alien family floated in the safety of the human ship's pod, their damaged vessel finally stable. The child's small hands explored the smooth, glowing walls, fascinated by the strange technology surrounding them. Sparks of fear had faded, replaced by wonder. Yet, even in this newfound safety, there was a lingering unease. They had been betrayed before, ignored, or abandoned by countless species. Trust did not come easily. The human crew, aware of their caution, moved patiently. They did not force the aliens to speak or act. Instead, they provided what was needed: food, breathable air, warmth, and gentle reassurances. Their calm and steady presence was almost magical to the alien family. Every small gesture carried a quiet power, a hand extended, a soft word, a light adjusted to ease fear. The mother offered a cautious smile as she watched her child eat the food provided. "It is good," the child whispered. Their round eyes sparkled with curiosity. They help us." The mother nodded. "Yes, my little one. They care for us without expecting anything in return." The father, still wary, approached the human technician who monitored the pod systems. We do not understand your ways," he said carefully. "Your actions, they are strange. You do not demand, you do not threaten. Why?" The technician smiled gently. "Because we believe in helping. Not because it is easy, not because we gain anything, but because it is right. Every life matters." The alien parents exchanged a glance. They had traveled the galaxy, seen empires rise and fall, witnessed cruelty disguised as strength. And yet, these humans acted differently. They had rescued the family without hesitation, without fear of enemies, and without expecting anything in return. It was a concept so foreign, so simple, yet so powerful, that it moved them deeply. Hours passed as humans and aliens shared silent moments. The child learned to touch and examine the floating devices, while the humans guided every action safely. Simple interactions built subtle bonds, a nod of encouragement, a hand to steady, a smile. Trust began to grow slowly, like a fragile plant pushing through cold, barren soil. The human captain approached the family personally, kneeling slightly so as not to appear intimidating. "You are safe here," the captain said softly. "We will guide you. You do not need to be afraid." The alien father's voice trembled as he spoke. "We have never felt this before. Always fear, always danger, and yet here, safety. And kindness." The mother's eyes filled with tears. We do not know how to thank you. You risked everything for us. You could have ignored us, or worse. But you chose to help." The captain shook their head gently. "No thanks are needed. Compassion is its own reward. Remember this. Even when the galaxy seems cruel, there is hope. There is always hope." The alien family slowly began to share their story. They spoke of worlds abandoned, of empires that turned away, of neighbors who had betrayed them. They had thought survival meant hiding, fearing, and expecting cruelty. And yet, through their words, the humans listened without judgment, offering quiet understanding and validation. The little child sat on the mother's lap, wide-eyed, asking soft questions. Will they always help us?" The mother smiled faintly, brushing the child's hair back. "We do not know. But now, we have seen that kindness exists. And maybe, someday, we will pass it forward." Meanwhile, outside, the human ship monitored the surrounding space. There were no more immediate threats, yet the humans remained vigilant. The alien family noticed the careful balance. The humans were kind, but they were also strong, prepared, and alert. It was a new kind of strength, one that did not rely on violence to assert dominance, but on protection, wisdom, and compassion. The alien father, inspired by what he saw, finally spoke with a small sense of determination. We will trust you. Not blindly, but carefully. And we will learn." The mother nodded, holding the child close. "Yes. If we survive, if we live, we will remember this. The humans showed us a new path. A path of trust and hope." The humans continued their work, guiding the aliens in repairing their ship. Together, they moved slowly, step by step, through tasks that were both technical and emotional. Every repair, every adjustment, became an act of cooperation. Bonds formed through shared effort. Mutual respect grew quietly, steadily. The child laughed again when a floating device gently hovered near their hand, responding to their touch. It was a small joy, but for the family, it symbolized more than mere play. It symbolized safety, wonder, and trust in a universe that had always been dangerous. By the time the repairs were near completion, the alien family had learned to rely on the humans in ways they never thought possible. Their fear had not vanished entirely, it never would, but it had been replaced with cautious optimism. For the first time, they truly believed that not all beings in the galaxy were cruel. The human captain watched them quietly, satisfied. You have survived the first test, the captain said softly. Trust is built slowly. Compassion is proven through action. You have seen it. You have felt it. Carry this forward. The alien mother whispered to her family, We will never forget this. They saved more than our lives, they saved our hearts. And as the human ship prepared to escort the aliens further, away from dangerous sectors of space, one thought filled their minds: perhaps the galaxy could be different. Perhaps, with compassion and courage, even the darkest corners could shine with hope. For the alien family, trust had begun. And with trust came something they had almost forgotten: faith in the goodness of others, even in the cold and vast universe. The alien family's ship was repaired enough to move on its own, but the dangers of the galaxy were far from over. The hostile fleet, still angry at the humans' interference, had regrouped and was now in pursuit. They were faster, larger, and more heavily armed. The stars ahead were no longer safe, every second could bring destruction. Inside the human ship, the crew worked tirelessly. Shields were reinforced, escape routes calculated, and defensive drones deployed. The humans moved with calm precision, aware of the stakes. They had promised protection, and they would keep that promise, no matter the cost. The alien father clutched the railing of the pod, his knuckles white. They cannot outrun them alone, he whispered, fear tightening his chest. The mother nodded, holding their child close. Then, the humans will guide us, she said, her voice trembling. We have no choice but to trust them. The little child peeked through the window, eyes wide. Will they be safe? They asked, voice barely above a whisper. The mother shook her head slowly, her lips pressed together. We don't know, she admitted. But they are brave. They are strong, and they care for us. The human captain made a decision. We cannot let the aliens' ship face the fleet alone, the captain said. We will take the risk. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. The human ship surged forward, engines blazing, moving between the aliens' vessel and the approaching enemy. Energy shields flared, absorbing warning beams and minor attacks from the hostile fleet. The aliens watched in awe, their fear mingling with disbelief. These strangers had saved them once already, and now, they risked everything again. The hostile fleet fired volleys of plasma energy. Sparks and flares danced across the void as the human ship deflected each attack with precision. The pod carrying the alien family shook violently with every near miss. The child screamed, pressing into the mother's arms. Hold on, she shouted, holding both the child and herself tightly. Inside the alien vessel, the father monitored the systems, stabilizing the ship as best he could. We are moving, he said, his voice strained. But they are taking damage. Outside, the human ship's hull bore the brunt of most attacks. Panels burned, and warning alarms echoed across the bridge, yet the humans did not falter. They were protecting the aliens, even as their own safety was threatened. One of the human crew members shouted, Captain, shields are dropping. If we keep this up, we may not make it. The captain's voice was steady, calm, and resolute. We hold our line. The aliens must survive. Focus on protection, not ourselves. This is the choice of compassion. Time seemed to stretch. Every second felt like an eternity. The alien family clung together, hearts pounding, as the human ship maneuvered between them and the hostile fleet. Every shot that missed their ship, every shield flare, was a reminder of the humans' courage and their willingness to risk everything for strangers. Suddenly, a massive beam struck the human vessel, sending it spinning. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and smoke filled the corridors. The child cried out in fear. Is it over? The little one asked. The mother held them tightly, whispering, No, they are still here. They are protecting us. The captain gave the order for a bold maneuver. Small thrusters activated, and the ship twisted sharply, deflecting incoming fire. Another human officer deployed drones that intercepted and disrupted the hostile fleet's weapons systems. The aliens watched, unable to comprehend the strategy, only understanding that these beings were willing to give their lives for them. Minutes, or maybe hours, passed in tense silence. The human ship's hull was battered, but the aliens' vessel remained intact. The hostile fleet, frustrated by the humans' skill and their refusal to engage directly, began to retreat. The immediate danger was gone, but the cost was visible. The human ship bore scars of the battle, some systems damaged, lights flickering. The alien father's eyes filled with tears. They risked everything. For us. For our lives, he whispered. The mother hugged their child tightly. Yes, they expected nothing. No reward. No recognition. Just compassion. The child, still wide-eyed, looked at the humans outside. They are heroes, they asked softly. The mother smiled faintly, tears rolling down her cheeks. Yes, they are more than heroes. They are humans. Inside the human ship, crew members checked systems, patched damages, and ensured the aliens were safe. Their faces were calm but tired. They had given everything, not for glory, not for power, but because it was the right thing to do. The human captain finally spoke over the communicator. You are safe now. We have done all we can. Your ship can continue on its journey. Remember what you have seen today. Courage is in protecting, strength is in compassion, and hope is never lost. The alien family watched as the humans drifted back slightly, giving them room to move. Their hearts were full of gratitude, awe, and a deep sense of humility. They had expected the galaxy to be cruel. They had prepared for the worst. And yet, they had found beings who risked everything for strangers, who gave their lives for others without question. The little child held their parents' hands tightly. We are alive, they whispered. Because of them. The mother nodded, tears streaming down her face. Yes, because of humans. And we will never forget. The father looked at the retreating human ship. They did not conquer, they did not dominate, they saved. They sacrificed everything to give us a chance. And that is strength. For the first time in cycles, the alien family felt something they had not felt for a long time, hope. Not just for survival, but for a better universe, a universe where courage and kindness could exist, even in the darkest corners of space. And as they guided their ship forward, leaving the dangerous sector behind, one thought remained clear: humans had shown them a new path. A path where compassion could triumph over cruelty, and courage was measured not in weapons, but in acts of selfless sacrifice. In that vast, endless galaxy, the family knew one truth forever: they had survived because of humans. And their lives and hearts would never be the same again. The alien family's ship floated gently through the star-studded void. For the first time in cycles, they felt a sense of peace. The little child laughed softly, reaching out to touch the glowing control panels. Their parents smiled, a quiet relief settling in their hearts. They were alive, safe, and finally free from immediate danger. Outside, the human ship hovered briefly, giving them space. The crew had completed their mission, rescuing the aliens, defending them from hostile forces, and ensuring their survival. Their ship bore scars from the battle, a testament to the risks they had taken, but they did not seem concerned. Compassion had guided them, and that had been worth every danger faced. The alien father watched the humans with awe. They could have left us, he whispered to the mother. They could have ignored us, like everyone else did. Or worse, they could have attacked us. But they did not. They saved us. They protected us. They cared. The mother nodded, holding the child close. Yes. They showed us something the galaxy has forgotten. Kindness. Courage without cruelty. Sacrifice without expectation. That is hope. The little child looked out of the window at the human's ship. Will they leave now? The child asked. Yes, the mother said softly. But they have given us something more than safety. They have shown us that not all beings are cruel. That even in the darkest space, there is light. The aliens prepared to continue their journey to a friendly planet. Their ship was stable, their systems repaired, and the little family finally free to move at their own pace. Yet, a quiet thought lingered in their minds: this journey was not just about survival. It was also about carrying forward the lesson they had learned. Compassion could change lives. Courage could inspire. And kindness could echo across the stars. The alien father pressed a small control, activating communication signals to send a message to their home world and neighboring species. His hands trembled slightly. "We must tell them," he said. "We must tell everyone that humans exist, that they help, not harm. That some beings in this galaxy still care." The mother smiled, tears in her eyes. "Yes, let them know. Let the galaxy remember that compassion is possible. That hope is never lost." Far away, the humans monitored their rescued passengers, ensuring they were safe for the first leg of their journey. The captain observed quietly, watching the aliens' reactions. There was no need for words. The expressions of relief, awe, and gratitude spoke louder than any voice. Mission accomplished, the humans prepared to return to the stars, ready to help wherever kindness was needed next. As the alien family moved further from the dangerous sector, they glanced back at the human ship. The stars reflected on its sleek surface, a silent beacon of hope. In the dark, infinite galaxy, it seemed almost alive, a guardian in the void. The little child spoke softly, a whisper full of wonder. They saved us. They really saved us." The mother held the child tightly, a tear rolling down her cheek. "Yes, my little one. They saved not just our lives, they saved our hearts. And maybe, one day, we can do the same for others." The father nodded, eyes scanning the stars. "We have learned something no one can take from us. Courage is not in weapons. Strength is not in fear. Power is not in conquest. True strength is in protecting those who cannot protect themselves. True courage is in giving hope when everyone else turns away." Their ship moved steadily, guided by hope and a renewed sense of purpose. Every star they passed seemed brighter, every planet a possibility. The galaxy was vast, and dangers still existed. But the family's hearts were changed forever. They had experienced compassion, selfless bravery, and trust. They had learned that even in a universe filled with cruelty, kindness could thrive. The humans, now distant but never forgotten, left a lasting impression. Their actions had rewritten the aliens' understanding of the galaxy. These strangers had risked life and ship to protect beings they had never met. That act of pure compassion would ripple through the cosmos as the aliens shared their story with others. The mother whispered again, softly, "We will never forget them. They have given us more than life, they have given us hope." The father smiled faintly. "And perhaps, one day, others will see this. And the galaxy will remember what true courage and kindness look like." The little child looked out at the stars, tiny hands pressed to the glass. Will there be more humans like them?" The mother smiled. "I do not know, my child. But now we know it is possible. And we can carry it forward. One life, one act of kindness at a time." As their ship sailed onward, away from the dark corners of the galaxy, the family felt a deep, unshakable truth. Hope could survive anywhere, even in the emptiest voids of space. Compassion could shine brighter than the strongest weapons. And courage guided by kindness could change the course of lives, and even the galaxy itself. The stars stretched endlessly, but the alien family knew they were no longer alone. Humans had shown them that light could exist in the darkest places, that life was precious, and that even small acts of care could leave echoes across the universe. And as they disappeared into the vastness of space, one thought burned clearly in their hearts. They had survived, they had hope, and the galaxy had been forever changed by the compassion of humans.